Hey everyone, my name's Praying for Exits. I run a venture capital fund called Exits Capital. Today we're going to be talking about the Collison brothers. The Collison brothers are two billionaire brothers from Ireland who have basically changed the world and the way that we conduct business on the internet by building one of the largest payment platforms of all time called Stripe. Today we're going to dive into a little bit on the background of how that happened and their next project that they're working on, which could be just as big or even bigger than the impact that they've had with Stripe. Let's rewind a bit. The Collison brothers were not overnight successes. Their journey started in rural Ireland, basically as child prodigies. In 2005, Patrick Collison won the Young Scientist and Technology exhibition at the age of 16 for his artificial intelligence project called Isaac, named after Sir Isaac Newton. In 2006, at the age of 17, he would join the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and concurrently start a business with his brother John named Shupa. They tried to get funding from the Irish venture capital fund Enterprise Ireland, but they were denied. While at MIT, Patrick and John found out about the heralded Silicon Valley incubator named Y Combinator and applied, eventually getting in and changing the name of their company to Octomatic. By 2008, Patrick, age 19, and John, age 17, were multimillionaires after selling Octomatic to Canadian company Live Current Media. By 2009, they had dropped out of MIT to become directors of engineering at the company's headquarters in Vancouver. By 2010, the brothers had another idea. Frustrated with how difficult it was to take payments for online businesses, Patrick and his brother co-founded a new company called Stripe, which in 2011 received $2 million of funding, including from PayPal co-founders Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, and venture capital firms Sequoia Capital, Andreessen Horowitz, and SV Angel. Whereas it used to be a multi-week endeavor to get payment processors to accept online transactions before, which included back and forth with banks, PayPal, and a host of engineering challenges, the Collison brothers were able to create a platform where developers could add 7 lines of code to any website and it would be able to handle these types of payments. What once took weeks was now a cut-and-paste job that even the most basic of developers could implement into their websites. Stripe soon exploded, and by 2016, the brothers became the world's youngest self-made billionaires, worth at least $1.1 billion each, after investment from Capital G and General Catalyst Partners valued the company at $9.2 billion. As of late 2023, Stripe is currently valued in the $75 to $100 billion range. 3.1 million active websites use Stripe, and by 2020, $350 billion of payments were made through Stripe per year, a number that is likely much higher today. Today, the Collison brothers are worth a combined $11.2 billion and are currently gearing up to take Stripe public in the near future. They are some of the largest landowners in Ireland, owning tens of thousands of acres and multiple historic sites. After the success of Stripe, they have now moved on to their newest endeavor, ARC Institute. Headquartered in Palo Alto, California, ARC is a non-profit research organization founded on the belief that many important scientific programs can be enabled by a different organization model. The Collisons are building ARC in partnership with Stanford, UCF, and UC Berkeley. ARC gives scientists no strings attached, multi-year funding so that they don't have to apply for external grants. Upon launch, ARC had raised $650 million to research the next generation of therapeutics and biological breakthroughs. To me, the Collison brothers exemplify everything that's great about Silicon Valley. They're two brothers from a small town in Ireland that basically came up with nothing and hustled their way into becoming some of the richest people in the world and some of the youngest billionaires in the world. And the best part about them, they're not really stopping after doing one thing. If you talk to anybody who knows them, the Collison brothers are extremely forward-pushing people in the sense that they're never happy with the status quo of things and are constantly looking for new and interesting things to build and put into the world that can make the world a better place. ARC Institute is a great example of that. It's headed by a friend of mine named Patrick Hsu, who was one of the original founders of CRISPR technology. And if you know anything about CRISPR, this represents probably one of the most interesting segments of biotech, which by all intents and purposes should translate into a lot of new and interesting things coming out of ARC Institute. So what made the Collison brothers super special is a few things. One is that they had each other. In starting a company, one of the things that you see that a lot of companies always fail with is there's co-founder issues. Two people who started a business together increasingly grow apart, and it makes it very difficult to run a business. When you're starting a business with your brother, somebody who's in a lot of ways your intellectual equal and somebody who's as mission driven as you on the same thing, it makes that sort of founder cohesiveness a lot better and allows you to build something in a much more natural way. The second is that Patrick and John, if you were to talk to them, they're incredibly voracious consumers of information. I think that Patrick and John have gone on record and say they read multiple books a week, and they have done so for the last decade or so. And that spans the gamut from science to technology to history. They're just consistently interested people and constantly updating their own personal computer with information that they can use for the things that they're building and for what they're trying to put out there in the world. And I think the third thing is that they are incredible business people and incredible attractors of talent. If you look look at the Stripe talent pool, it's some of the best engineers in the world, and John and Patrick have done an incredible job of consistently attracting this level of talent to Stripe since the earliest days, just bringing in really forward-thinking, intelligent people to help them build what their dream is. And so those three things are kind of some of the biggest factors as to why they're successful today. And so yeah, that's a little bit about the Collison brothers, who have become in a lot of ways Silicon Valley royalty. We're going to start doing a lot more of these types of videos where we dive into specific people in Silicon Valley that are super interesting and have built some of the largest businesses that everybody uses today. And so off the back of that, please like, comment, subscribe, and leave a comment on other people within Silicon Valley that you'd like us to do a deep dive in so we can explore who they are, where they came from, and what their future looks like.